a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Princeton, or 9 miles south of Ottawa, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Lucene, Bayonne, Pleasanton, Fontana, Parker, Merwin, New Lancaster, Amsterdam, Drexel, Osawatomie, Lynn Valley, Beagle, Amorant, and Lewisburg. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 6:15 a.m. for the following counties in Kansas, Lynn and Miami, and the following counties in Missouri, Bates and Cass.
Good morning, everybody. Subby here. So, of course, you just heard that was the weather radio. They are working this morning, so that's great news that they are working. It is 5:30 a.m. I've been up tracking these thunderstorms for since around 3 a.m. And again, we are not looking for like a big outbreak of severe weather. I'm just trying to share some of these feeds here with everybody, make sure everybody knows that I am live. But as you just heard, so there is a new severe thunderstorm warning out for here in west central Missouri. That's going to be for Bates and for Cass County. As you can see, this severe thunderstorm warning polygon is just clipping both of those counties, and that's in response to this thunderstorm, this cluster of thunderstorms that's going to be moving across the state line here in probably in about 30 minutes or so. Now, right now, it does look like it might slide. It is sliding a little bit to the southeast, more than just to the east. So I have a feeling Bates County, southern Cass County, Vernon County, St. Clair County, maybe southern Henry County will be affected as we go into the morning. But again, this is for kind of what we talked about last night with the storm chasers. Hopefully you caught that roundtable that we had. It's going to be a hail event. If we get any severe thunderstorms, there could be a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. We can't rule that out. Tornado threat is nearly zero, guys. So don't be worried about the tornado threat. These are elevated thunderstorms. A lot of lightning with these things. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest issues with this storm. I'm already starting to see a few power outages as this little cluster of thunderstorms moves across eastern Kansas. So there's a ton of lightning with this as it continues to move closer to the state line, especially for those of you that are commuting up to, say, Harrisonville at the Walmart distribution, or I believe Arm & Hammer up there, and up toward Kansas City. You kind of want to get north of a Belton, Pleasant Hill, Warrensburg area. Probably here, you want to get at least at that line, if not just a little bit further north here, probably within the next 45 minutes. So if you're heading up to Kansas City, you might want to take out maybe just a little sooner than what you normally do. Try to stay ahead of this. It's some torrential rains too. We could be looking at close to an inch of rain underneath this cluster of thunderstorms right now. So, of course, as it continues to move off to the east and to the southeast, you have to keep in mind that the stronger part of this cluster of storms will likely want to kind of shift a little bit more south. Butler, you're going to be kind of into bullseye. Rich Hill, Mound City, as well as Appleton City, Osceola, El Dorado Springs. I think you guys had the potential maybe to be able to see some of these hailers, is what I call them, up to quarters, maybe a little bit larger, an inch and a quarter to inch and a half hail with some of these cells. But once this line moves through, guys, we ought to be in good shape. We'll be under partly cloudy skies the rest of the day into the lower 80s. We do have a chance of seeing some thunderstorms moving in this afternoon. That is a very conditional threat, like we talked about last night at the round table. We're going to be, we're under a cap this afternoon, and it looks like the majority of the thunderstorm activity is going to be well up to the northern Missouri, northeast Kansas, up into Iowa, Nebraska. But we still are under a marginal risk for severe weather for us for this afternoon. But that is only if the cap should happen to break. Right now, I'm not expecting it to. But, of course, I'm watching that very, very closely. About the only other difference that we have found here over about the last 12, 18 hours is the fact that the front is going to, on Friday night, is going to sag even further to the south, similar to what it did 41 days ago. According to the LRC, that low pressure system dropped down further south into Arkansas. Now, what that means is that all of west central Missouri will likely be on the cold side of this front on Saturday. What that means, maybe the high of 50 degrees on Saturday and rain. So it's going to be very chilly. Now, just 3 days ago, that low pressure system was going to be sitting on top of Kansas City, keeping us on the warm side. Now that thing is draped all the way down into Arkansas. So 50 degrees for the high on Saturday. Now, several of you guys are probably wondering about Easter. We really didn't go into that detail last night into roundtable for Easter Sunday, and I want to show you why, and then we'll take another look at radar and we'll track those storms out. So we're going to take a look at two different models. This is going to be for Easter Sunday. This is the GFS, the North American model. You see where that low pressure system is sitting at right here? If that happens, then we're going to be on the cold side of that front. That's as far north as that low is going to go. If that happens, we stay in the 50s on Easter with rain and thunder showers. Now, take a look what two other models are suggesting. We go to the European. Now look where that low is. It's centered up there in northeast Kansas. That puts us here in west central Missouri on the warm side of this front, 70s and severe thunderstorms for Easter. So right now, we're not exactly sure where this low pressure system is going to go. Therefore, it's still very conditional for Easter. For those of you with plans, I do think we're going to have rain and thunder showers regardless, but it's that threat of severe weather I'm concerned about for Sunday. Now, if I'm going by the LRC, if we go back 41 days in the upper air pattern, the lows coming in almost identically in the same spot, but it ended up down here in Arkansas. So, basing on the LRC, what happened 41 days ago, I'm going to say our best chances is that this low pressure system stays south, similar to what the GFS is showing. I'll go back to that here real quick. Similar to what this GFS model is showing, where the low is going to be down there by the four corners of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, keeping us in the cold side of the front, pretty much eliminating the chance of severe weather outside of a possible thunderstorm that might have some small hail in it. So I'm constantly looking at the updates and looking at the data, and it seems like every time I look at it, it changes. So we're still kind of up in the air on Sunday for the threat of severe weather on Easter Sunday. Saturday, though, looked like we're going to be on the cold side of this thing. So 50 degrees maybe for the high. My golly, it's going to be chilly on Saturday with the cold rain. So if anything changes, of course, I'm watching this as the data comes in all the way through Easter weekend, and I'll keep you guys definitely informed on what we've got going on there. So back to what's going on right now this morning. Of course, we got Gene out there. Good morning, Gene. And my sis. I don't know if anybody else. We've got a lot of people in the live streams this morning, but it's still pretty early, 5:40 in the morning. Most of them are sleeping in this morning. So I'm going to put good morning, everyone. And so we're going to kind of watch this line. And of course, it's from Belton down to West Line, Freeman, and looks like it's coming right across the state line with this next update. So it is moving at a pretty good clip. Looks like east at 56 miles per hour. But on the southern edge of this cluster of thunderstorms is where you're going to have that best potential to see any hail. So again, that's going to be really from Archie, Adrian, Passaic, Butler, Amsterdam, New Home, Rich Hill, all the way, and then later on, Appleton City, Montrose, Spruce, Deepwater, Osceola. So we'll be watching this and tracking this as it continues to move off to the east-southeast. Let's go ahead and put a time on this. We'll give it just a little bit of a south extent to it. So some of the locations going to be impacted and the times. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I want to display local time. Then that way we can kind of take a look at a clock and know how much time we got. So I'm going to give a little bit of a southward extent to this. That's going to put, here are the impact times. We got Main City 5:48, Adrian 5:53, Archie 5:53, Passaic at 5:55, Butler at 5:59, Dayton 6:03, Garden City 6:05, Spruce 6:09, Ballard 6:06, Creighton 6:10, New Piper 6:13, Urick at 6:14, Appleton City 6:17, Montrose 6:17, Hartwell 6:18, Blairstown 6:18, Huntingdale 6:25, Clinton at 6:28, Shawnee Mound 6:29, Deepwater 6:29, Brownington 6:33, Larry City 6:35, and Calhoun at 6:37. So this kind of gives you guys a little bit of an idea. And, you know, it might get there a couple minutes sooner or later, but that gives you a good idea so you can get, if you have to commute to work, get the kids ready for school, kind of gives you an idea of what kind of time frame we're looking at. And again, I say as we go through the next hour or two, we're going to see these three hail cores. Where you see the purple are the hail cores. Where you see those, they're going to be kind of shifting more to the southeast, more than just moving to the east. So, you know, that's why I think, you know, Butler, Rich Hill, Adrian, Archie, Appleton City, El Dorado Springs, Osceola, you guys are kind of more in that track of the hail cores. Now, there's going to be a lot of lightning and, of course, some heavy rain to go along with this, so we'll have to deal with that on the commute as well. Take a look here at chat. You guys lucky I almost didn't hit that mute in time for my sneeze. You guys didn't want to hear that. So just checking on, got a few messages here from people. Hey, good morning, Eli. Morning, Rhonda. Tanya, tons of lightning in Harrisonville right now. Thank you, Brittany. Yeah, I'd say you're really, and again, this is a very electrified storm. These are really elevated thunderstorms. So we do have that potential to see hail and a lot of lightning. But that's really the extent of our severe threat with these storms. We talked about it last night. That overnight, last night into this morning, we're in that marginal risk to see a few hailers, and that's exactly what we've got. Let me check and see if there's been any reports. So far, no storm reports coming in from the National Weather Service. So, if you should happen to run into any hail, when it's a safe time, please let me know. I'll pass that on to the National Weather Service. But right now, we're not seeing any hail reports or storm damage reports of any kind through the National Weather Service, which that's a good thing. Good morning, Andrew. Eli there at 307 weather report said lightning starting a little bit in Independence. And you guys up there in Independence, Kansas City Metro, Overland Park, Leavenworth, those of you guys that are going to be commuting up into the Kansas City Metro area, including Lee Summit, Blue Springs, Oak Grove, just keep in mind you'll be getting into some moderate rainfall. But as far as the hail concerned, you're not going to have to worry about that up there in the KC Metro. This is really going to be all down south of I-70. And again, I have a feeling we're going to see probably Cass, Bates, Vernon, St. Clair, maybe southern Henry County be possibly clipped by these hail cores. And again, that's the only severe threat we have going on this morning is going to be from the potential of seeing some hail. So, good morning, Rhonda. And again, I think more and more people are starting to wake up now, and we're getting more and more into our streams. But again, we're tracking a severe thunderstorm moving into southern Cass and Bates County here in west central Missouri. The severe concern is the potential to see hail to the size of quarters, maybe an inch and a quarter. So that's enough to do some damage. It's going to be loud, a ton of lightning, the strong straight line wind, as well as tornado threat. Very, very, very low with these storms. These are really elevated in nature. So definitely something that will be continued to watch as these cells continue to move through west central Missouri. I'm going to stay here with you guys and keep you all up to date on what's going on here from Baumgard Weather Center. I've been tracking these thunderstorms. The main reason, not because of an increased severe risk, but I want to see how these storms are reacting to the current atmospheric conditions. So this is going to kind of tell me a little bit about this evening. It's also going to tell me a little bit about what we can expect tomorrow by how these storms are kind of interacting with the atmosphere. So that was kind of driving me to be up at 3 a.m. watching these storms come across eastern Kansas, because I want to see how they react. So right now we do have a hail core, looks like entering into southern Cass County, northwestern Bates County right now, from looks like Main City down to Merwin, Amsterdam, Mulberry. You guys are on that front edge of this cell, and again, a lot of lightning. Right now, it looks like, I don't know if we have quarter-size hail coming into the counties right now. Looks like maybe pea-size hail, according to radar. The stronger cells that are produced in the larger hail back over near Osawatomie and Ottawa, Kansas right now, that will continue to move in our direction. But we'll see if they retain their intensity or not. Just a lot of lightning so far in Freeman. Hey, thanks for the report, Jessica. Appreciate that. Morning, Nancy. So it's nice to see, if you guys have noticed, Gary Lezak for the next few weeks is back on KSHB 41. So that's kind of a nice thing to see. Of course, Gary, longtime meteorologist for KSHB, moved to Golden, Colorado after retirement, and one of the meteorologists there at KSHB is on maternity leave. So they set his house up with a studio in Golden, Colorado, and he's on every morning on KSHB for the next few weeks. So it's nice to see a familiar face there on KSHB. So that's been kind of a neat thing. We had a roundtable discussion here a couple weeks ago about the LRC. I did post that, I think, on most of my social media. We were talking about severe weather. We were talking about the hurricane report and how accurate the LRC is. So that was kind of a cool thing. I was invited to sit down with a team, and we discussed that over the video wave. So hopefully you guys were able to catch that. These cells are still traveling at a pretty good clip. So anywhere between 48 to 55 miles an hour to the east-southeast. So again, it's not going to take very long for these cells to move across, about an hour, and then these cells are going to be well east of your area. So that's the good news. But in that hour, we could see several reports of anywhere between half to an inch of rainfall in that hour in parts of Cass. Well, actually, all throughout west central Missouri as this line continues this morning through. So we'll pick up a little bit of rainfall. Great for the garden this morning. We kind of clear out, partly cloudy skies, highs in the 80s this afternoon. We'll be watching for that conditional threat of seeing any more thunderstorms. We're going to be under a very strong cap, but of course I'm going to be here watching. I am going to be going up to Kansas City, picking up our weather radios for Henry County. So by later on this afternoon, we will have them ready for pickup here in Henry County. And again, as I mentioned the other day, we're going to be this was thanks in part to work of our Director of Emergency Management, Mark Harden, and myself. We found some grants through Truman Lake Community Foundation, which is a great organization that offers organizations around Truman Lake an opportunity to be able to get some grants to do some good things in their area. So we were fortunate enough to win this grant for the second time, and we purchased a bunch of weather radios again. And we are going to, obviously anybody in Henry County that wants one, we'll have a drop-off point for them. And then probably around May 1st. Whatever we have left over, we're going to open it up to our communities around us in case somebody is in need of a weather radio. So lots of great things happening here in West Central Missouri. So hopefully everybody has a weather radio. They are working well today. Mine went off here at the station. So that's very good news as we've been, we've kind of been under, National Weather Service been under the gun from me because I've been harping for like the last 3 weeks. And they're probably sick and tired of listening to Subby complain about weather radios. But, such an integral part of our warning defense out here in our communities that we really needed the weather radios. And they are working well. So I think they got all the bugs worked out of that for now. All right, so that line is getting ready to come into, looks like right along 49. So if you're traveling northbound on 49, say in between Butler and Harrisonville, you're going to get hit with some very, very heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and potential right now in that area maybe to see nickel-size hail right now. I'm not seeing quarter size or anything too significant right now approaching 49, but definitely be prepared. Be coming into Archie, Adrian, Passaic, Butler here over about the next 10-15 minutes. Harrisonville, you're getting a lot of lightning, getting some moderate rain, same as Pleasant Hill, Eastland, but no hail threat really once you get from say Cleveland, Harrisonville, Eastland, over to Chehowee and north. The hail threat is pretty much non-existent there. We're really looking at the areas here in Bates, Cass, Vernon, St. Clair, Southern Henry, and then of course as it continues to move off into possibly Benton County as well. But we'll have to see if these thunderstorms are going to hold together this morning. Looks like southern Miami County, we have a report of nickel-size hail there. So still a little bit sub-severe size hail. That's good news. We still have another 18 minutes left for severe thunderstorm warning for western Cass and western Bates County here in West Central Missouri. Well, my sister's getting tired of my voice. So we're not, again, guys, in case you're just tuning in, I know we've had about 50 more people join the live stream. We are here because of a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Cass County, western Bates County. For these cells that you're looking at here, really in the purple blobs. That's the easiest way for me to describe it. Those are kind of the hail cores. And that's our biggest threat for today, for this morning, is going to be for the potential of seeing up to quarter size hail. That's 1 inch hail, maybe 1.25 inches. But, I do think the way these are moving, we are, the primary threat areas is going to be southern Cass, Bates County, possibly northern Vernon County, St. Clair, southern Henry County, and then possibly on over toward southern Benton County, south of Warsaw. These storms are moving east-southeast, and I think the strongest of the cells are really kind of drifting a little bit further to the south. So, those Appleton City, Butler, Rich Hill, Adrian, Archie, Uric, Montrose, Deepwater, Larry City, Osceola. I know this is not a good time because everybody's getting the kids up, getting ready for school, getting ready to head to work. But again, hail is the biggest threat, but a lot of lightning, So make sure you have a flashlight handy. Make sure you have your phone charged up. Did see some reports out in eastern Kansas, some power outages due to lightning because it's very intense. Lightning is very intense where you see the darker red colors. So, a lot of lightning and possibility of some hail, and that's really the biggest threat that we have with any of these cells. Morning, James. Hi, Jeff, Michelle. Yeah, I think I just answered that talking about these storms here for Clinton. Trevor mentioning heavier rain starting in Archie with lots of lightning, no hail at this time. Yeah, it looks like the hail core pretty much softened up with this leading cell from Archie, Adrian down to Passaic and Butler, getting ready to move in. Torrential rains, a lot of lightning, but right now I'm not seeing a hail core associated with this front cell of this cluster. So right now the hail looks to be over Lacine, Lynn Valley, back over to Stanton and Ottawa, Kansas is really where the biggest of the hail cores are. We'll see if these will continue maybe to maybe not be severe. They did not extend the severe thunderstorm warning further into Bates or Cass County, so that's good news. Maybe as they cross the state line, they begin to weaken a little bit. We just get some good soaking rains and maybe a little bit of lightning, but maybe that will be all that we have to contend with here in west central Missouri. So it kind of depends on what this cell does right here, whether or not they're going to extend that severe thunderstorm warning across the state line any further. If we start to see these cells start to weaken as far as the hail cores, they'll likely go ahead and allow this severe thunderstorm warning to expire, and then we kind of keep an eye on these cells as they continue to make their approach into west central Missouri. Take a look at winds here real quick. Not a lot. Like we do have a little bit of wind there. Looks like just south of Lacine. Radar is picking up 55, 58 mile per hour winds, but remember, this isn't at the surface. This is likely a few hundred feet above the surface. So we'll continue to watch this, but looks like just south of Lacine, a little bit of a wind signature there, but not all of that wind is being transferred to the ground. So maybe 40, 45 mile an hour winds there near Lacine. So anybody commuting over to the power plant Lacine from west central Missouri, keep that in mind. Appreciate you guys being here on the stream with me this morning. We just hit the 6 o'clock hour. And again, I've been kind of following these cells as they move through eastern Kansas around 3 o'clock this morning. Just wanting to kind of get a good idea of how these storms are going to react in the atmosphere. That's going to kind of give me kind of a little bit of a clue on how these storms are going to react tonight and into tomorrow. For those of you just coming in, again, right now, the only big changes that we've seen in the last 12, 18 hours is for Saturday, as that cold front comes through Friday night, into Saturday, it's a lot further south than what the data suggested just a couple days ago. What that means is we're going to be on the cold side of that front for Saturday. And what that means for us is rain, thunder showers, and 50-degree temperatures for Saturday. So very, very chilly on Saturday. We didn't really touch on Easter forecast last night during the roundtable and the reasoning. I did bring this up earlier. I'll show you guys again. Is the fact that the GFS model is showing on Easter Sunday that low pressure system being down here in the four corners of Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, and Kansas. If that happens, that means we're going to be on the cold side still on Sunday, meaning we're going to have temperatures in the 50s and rain and thunder showers for Easter. Now, what's I'm paying close attention to, what we kind of touched about prior to our roundtable and going live last night, was that some of these models, including the European, is showing that low pressure system up here in northeast Kansas. If that happens, west central Missouri will be on the warm side. We're talking 70s, upper 70s for Easter, and the potential to see severe weather. So depending on where this low pressure system ends up, the models and the data is still not 100% sure where this thing's going to go. And we're talking about a 400 mile swing. So what I'm basing it off of is 41 days ago and the LRC, we had the same setup. And what ended up happening, this low pressure system stayed down here in Arkansas. So right now I'm leaning toward the fact that we're going to be on the cold side of the front on Sunday. Therefore, just rain, thunder showers, no threat of severe weather outside of maybe a couple of them producing some small hail. So hopefully once we get through today, we start taking a look at some of the high resolution models and data coming in tonight. We'll have a better understanding of what we might be up against for Easter Sunday. So we do have a hail core that is getting ready to cross the state line near Amsterdam. We have another 8 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning for southwest Cass and western Bates County. So right now we are seeing a hail core, maybe up the quarter size from Merwin, Amsterdam down to Amoret. And it is moving to the east-southeast toward Adrian, Passaic, Butler, and Rich Hill, and the I-49 corridor. So we're kind of watching this, see if this hail threat will continue. The leading edge of this cluster of thunderstorms is now stretched from Garden City to just east of Adrian, Passaic, and Butler. So it looks like another little cell getting ready to come into Urick. Now, there's no hail signatures with this outside of maybe some pea-sized hail just on the southwest side of Butler right now. But for the most part, just torrential rainfall, a lot of lightning with this leading edge of a cell over this cluster that is moving across the state line right now. No, I don't think so, Andy. I think you can leave the keys on the table for this morning. And again, kind of what we talked about. Andy Hicks is in here, and with Team Havoc Storm Chasers, he was one of us that got together last night in a roundtable, discussed the threat for severe weather. And good guy. They got a great team. We're very excited to have them here in West Central Missouri.
thunderstorm was located 8 miles northeast of Pleasanton, moving southeast at 55 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Amoret, La Signa, Wayland, Adrian, Ridge Hill, Merwin, Passaic, Montrose, Rockville, Ballard, Foster, Amsterdam, Lynn Valley, Butler, Ladue, and Pleasanton. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 7 a.m. for the following counties in Kansas, Lynn and Miami, and the following counties in Missouri, Bates and Henry.
All right, guys. So you just heard that new severe thunderstorm warning, and of course we were kind of expecting that, and this is going to actually include Adrian, Passaic, Butler, Rich Hill, New Home, Spruce, Montrose, Appleton City. Not on St. Clair County yet, but you're close enough to that polygon. I would include Appleton City, and of course this is going to be for the potential of seeing hail up to the size of quarters and maybe a wind gust 58, 60 miles per hour. But right now that's looking pretty unlikely. It's mainly going to be a hail threat. As we see this, the hail cores right now look like they are, let's see here, down just southeast of Amoret. And of course, it's going to be impacting northwest 12001 road, northwest 11001 road, and then up here toward northwest 6002 road, northwest 11001 road. So primarily rural areas of Bates County, but of course this continues to kind of slide to the southeast, although most of these storms are moving to the east. The whole line is moving to the east, but the stronger the hail cores are really kind of dipping down to the southeast. So again, Butler, Spruce, Rich Hill, Passaic, Adrian, Montrose, Appleton City, and then eventually probably down clipping northeast Vernon County into St. Clair County. So we do have a leading edge of this cluster of thunderstorms now kind of through Garden City, Creighton, Urick, Spruce, Rich Hill, and no hail associated with this, just moderate to heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning. Going to take a look here at let's take a look at to the east. Let's take a look at that leading edge of that line here. Let's see if I can bring that up here. So what we've got, we are actually looking at, down in your right-hand corner, we are actually looking west out of Dayton, Missouri, which is right here at the Cass-Bates County line.
The National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Miami County, northern Lynn County, Kansas, southwestern Kent County, northwestern Bates County until 6:45 a.m. At 6:13 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Oso, Wyoming, heavy in the following counties in Missouri: Bates and Cass.
All right, guys. So, and again, what that one was for is for this cell back here in Kansas. So basically, what they did was they reissued the same severe thunderstorm warning for southwest Cass and northwest Bates County for the cell over here in Osawatomie. So now we have two severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently ongoing right now. And what I'm doing, going to put this out here. Let everybody know Henry County Emergency Management page. Make sure they know that we are live. All right. So, for those of you that, just tuning in, I know we have a lot more viewers right now. So, we do have two ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings here in West Central Missouri. The first one is actually all of Bates County. We'll consider them under a severe thunderstorm warning, as well as southwest Henry County, in which that's going to be for this cluster of thunderstorms right here that has the potential up to quarter-size hail, maybe a brief wind gust, 50, 55 miles per hour. And again, these cells are traveling to the southeast. So right now, those under the gun is really going to be under these polygon. So Adrian, Passaic, Butler, Spruce, Montrose, Rich Hill, Amsterdam, you guys have that threat for this large hail. Those of you in Clinton, Creighton, Garden City, Harrisonville, Leeton, Windsor, you guys don't have to worry about none of that. So it's primarily going to be for along the 49 corridor and east toward Spruce, Montrose, Appleton City areas, and then eventually down into St. Clair County if it continues the same progress and intensity. So, but the good news is that just about everybody in West Central Missouri is getting some rainfall right now that we need. So from Holden, Warrensburg, Creighton, Urick, Spruce, all of you guys are getting some nice rain showers and some moderate to heavy rainfall. And over this hour that these storms move across your area, you can expect probably close to about a, half to an inch of rainfall from this. So great for the garden, great for this time of year for the farmers. So the only thing we're really concerned about is for potential of a couple hailers with this line of storms. And of course, we talked about that last night at the round table, that it looks like hail is going to be the primary concern. Tornado threat, basically non-existent. And then we also have that threat for a strong straight line wind to 60 miles per hour, but we haven't seen very many reports of that at all out there, mainly just for the threat of large hail. Just started raining in Sedalia. So yeah, looks like Sedalia, you guys starting to get some showers right now. And you'll have a little bit more moderate rainfall here over the next 20-30 minutes coming into Pettis County and Sedalia. But 50 highway looks good. You're going to be in some moderate rain and probably a lot of lightning. But as far as severe weather, you guys don't have to worry about it. Clinton, you guys probably not going to have to worry about hail. severe hail. Just moderate rain will be moving in here in the next 20 minutes or so. So mainly the concern we do have a hail core that's coming into Butler and across I-49. That is the hail core right here. So this is going to be affecting the town of Butler right now. And it's going to include all the way down Orange Street. Looks like Elks Drive, Northwest 6002 Road that runs east and west, Northwest 1001 Road that runs north-south. So, and of course, all of Butler looks like you guys might get some pea-size hail, maybe up to dime size. And then with where you see the black here on the screen, that's going to be really the larger hail with the potential maybe up to the size of quarters. And that's going to be going across 49 Highway here any minute. So if you're traveling between Butler and, say, Passaic or Adrian, you might be prepared, and you might want to hold off from getting out on 49 until this passes, or pull over to the side of the road. You don't want to be going 75 mile an hour down 49 with golf ball size hail coming at you. That will shatter a windshield. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, you'll be good down there. I had talked to a couple of teachers that I don't know if you're one of them that are heading down there, but I did talk to a couple of teachers already. They were asking me about a field trip down to Springfield to the zoo today. So I think there's a couple area schools that are heading down there today to the zoo. They were kind of wondering whether or not to cancel the plans, and there's really no need to. You know, we knew we were going to have this threat for maybe a couple hailers. These are going to be moved out by, you know, mid-morning, 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame. And then we're going to be left with actually a really nice day in the 80s and partly cloudy to partly sunny skies. So really, there's no need to cancel a field trip today. And I'd say most of them will be taken out here in about probably an hour, hour and a half. So in about an hour and a half, we should see most of these cells through the area so that you can jump on 13 Highway, go straight south into Springfield without much of an issue. Rachel talking about a good day to snuggle in and watch a scary movie. Yeah, I'm going to say probably by about 9 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I'm going to be wishing I was snuggled up in bed watching a scary movie as well. Well, looks like somebody mentioned, just to let you know, there's some hail, but I don't know where you're at. Good morning, Lucky. Thanks, Crazy Acres. Reminded everybody, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe in the channel. That's huge. Doesn't cost anything, and it really helps us get word out when people are scrolling through YouTube or Facebook. The more likes you have, the algorithm will actually boost your video up to one of the first ones they see. So maybe we can get word out there to more people. So make sure you like and subscribe. All right, so, and again, these hail cores, they're going to be moving around. Right now, looks like we do have a hail core going across Butler right now. Doesn't look all that impressive. Not sure if it's quite hitting the ground right now, but could have some pea-sized hail going through Butler right now. And then, of course, as you go a little bit further south toward Nyhart, Cornland, New Home, a little bit better signature as far as hail down there for up to quarter-size hail. But torrential rains, a lot of lightning look like is going on there in Bates County right now. And, of course, you know, this one right here, that's some big hail there. That could be 1.5 inch hail. And this is out by Lacine. So if anybody is heading to the power plant, heading toward Lacine, you better get there quickly. If not, you might just want to kind of hold up for just a few minutes, because here in about the next 10-15 minutes, it's going to be going over Lacine, and that's actually some really big hail. Let's do a volumetric on that, see how high up. I'm going to go ahead and take out our kind of shrunk on that last go around, but we're going to kind of take a look here. So yeah, we've got some reflectivity of hail all the way up to over 25,000 feet right now with this cell here. So they're likely getting 1.25 inch, maybe even 1.5 inch hailstones here near Lacine, Kansas. And of course, that's one of the big reasons why the severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect over the same areas. Now, I do not know if this is going to continue as it crosses the state line, but we'll keep a close eye on that. So, let's see here. We still have that hail core pretty much just kind of running parallel south to I-49 right now. We have this leading edge of the rain. Thunderstorms look like Chehowee, Blairstown, Urick, Hudson, Appleton City get ready to come into. Of course, Montrose, Rockville, Pleasant Gap. None of this looked like it has any hail, just moderate to heavy rain, and looked like a lot of lightning associated with that as well. We don't have a threat, Bryce. Just some rainfall, good for the garden. Hi, PJ. You won't have any problems with flights at KCI. No problems at all there. Take a look what the National Weather Service. Yeah, so they do have 1 and 1.25 inch hail being reported at Lacine. So, Fontana. Yeah, that's in southern Miami County. So they do have some 1.25 inch size hail being reported with this cell right here. Now, as far as what it's capable of doing, because of these returns up probably 18 to 20,000 feet above our heads, we have the potential of seeing up to 3.25 inch size hail up there where we were just looking at in that 3D. So, you know, you start getting up, we're talking tennis ball size hail. So, definitely has that potential out there. But, yeah, Lacine, Lynn Valley, and then, of course, we get a little bit closer to the state line, Amoret, Amsterdam, and Merwin. We need to keep a close eye on that. Back in Bates County, looks like the hail core has moved off to the east of Butler. Looks like down around mainly rural areas, Peru, Cornland, Athol, Old Town State access area. Looks like that's where the hail core is right now in Bates County. We do have maybe some pea size that could be hitting the ground just east of Butler, heading into Spruce, and maybe over at Amsterdam. We might have some pea size hail associated with it. Torrential rainfall, a lot of lightning as well. Hi, Jennifer. It should start really lightening up right now in Garden City, Jennifer. So, this is kind of moving east to the southeast. So, things ought to be really starting to lighten up out there. There will still be some lightning. So, definitely, what I preach to these kids all the time when I go to schools and give weather presentation is if you hear it roar, head indoors. So you'll definitely be able to hear it still roar up there in Garden City, but the rain's going to be lightening up. And, of course, the threat for severe weather in Garden City is pretty non-existent right now. You're kind of behind this line of thunderstorms. Absolutely, Angie. My pleasure. So, and again, guys, I mean, there's the back edge of these storms out here, probably about 20 minutes away from hitting the state line. Once we get these storms out of our way, that back edge comes through, we're done for the day, for the most part. I'm still going to be watching to see if that cap should happen to lessen as we go into the late afternoon hours. Right now, I'm not expecting it to. We're going to have partly sunny to partly cloudy skies for the remainder of the day, highs in the 80s. So it's really going to be warming up with those south winds at 15 to 18 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 today. So we are going to have to deal with those winds again, but we're going to have a beautiful day out there once we get through this morning. Hi, Janet. So again, if really for Clinton, Uri, Creighton, Archie, Garden City, Harrisville, Warrensburg, Windsor, Sedalia. Really, this line of storms is going to stay to your south, the ones that's producing the hail. So really, the severe threat for you this morning is pretty much over. Now, for those of you in southwest Henry County, St. Clair County, Bates County, and likely even into northern Vernon County, that's what I'm really watching for, that potential of seeing a couple hailers come through your area. The tornado threat, basically non-existent. Strong straight line winds, it's the chances there, the threat is, but it's very, very low right now. Mainly looking at a hail threat is basically what we're looking at for this morning. And that's the reason why we still have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing. For about the next 27 minutes for southwest Henry, pretty much all of Bates County right now, and Appleton City. I would go ahead and consider you as part of that too. There in the far corner of northwest St. Clair County. You guys are close enough to that polygon to include you as well. Take a look at wind speeds here. Still showing maybe potential down southwest of Lacine, maybe a little bit of wind up to 50, 55 miles per hour. Everybody else looked like pretty much behaving themselves on as far as the thunderstorms goes. Looked like we do have a. I know people are looking here. Well, Subby, you always talk about, whenever you see red and green going on, And this is, when you get this far away from the radar, this is kind of what you kind of call it's called a side lobe contamination. It's kind of a false velocity representation of really what's going on. So I'm not really concerned as far as low level rotation, tornadoes, or nothing like that. This little icon up here, if you're looking at that going, holy cow, what's that by Lynn Valley? Now that is showing you that there is a mesocyclone, that the overall storm is rotating, which it typically always has to, because in order to produce hail. So we do have some rotation way up in the atmosphere. That's what that is telling you. But at the surface, because these are elevated storms at the surface, the ingredients aren't there for anything to be spinning up anything lower out in the atmosphere. So that's the reason we're not concerned with tornadoes with any of these storms. Just a potential for that likelihood of seeing some hailers. So kind of put things in perspective there just a little bit. So again, looks like the main hail core has moved off to the east of I-49. Right now, looks like from Pleasant Gap, mainly rural areas of Bates County, southeast of Butler. So Appleton City, you're in Spruce, Hudson. I know a couple schools, Appleton City, Hudson schools. You guys are going to start getting hit with some moderate to heavy rain, a lot of lightning. Right now, maybe some pea-sized hail could be moving in here over the next few minutes, but really not all that impressive when we're looking here at the at radar. And again, we're not expecting a whole lot, just the potential of seeing a few hailers out there. Good morning, Roger. So another 23 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning for Bates County and southwest Henry County. And again, Henry County, I'm not seeing anything right now that's threatening. Just some moderate heavy rain coming down here in Clinton right now. And Montrose, you're getting ready to get hit with some moderate rain again with this secondary line coming through. Really just good old-fashioned springtime thunderstorms with beneficial rain for our gardens and for the fields. I think the hail threat is primarily going to be south of Adrian, Spruce, Montrose, Lowry City, and south. I think is where that potential to see a couple more hailers as we go through the morning as this line continues to move off to the east. Let's see, what do we got there? So we have got a few more people. So in case you guys are just tuning in here with us this morning, been here kind of watching these thunderstorms out in eastern Kansas since about 3 o'clock this morning. Kind of watching, not necessarily for the severe threat, but looking to see how these storms are acting in the environment that they're in. That kind of helps me determine what our severe threat going into this afternoon, maybe tomorrow, will be here in west central Missouri under the current conditions. So, we're not expecting a whole lot of severe weather this morning. Once this back edge moves through our area, we're done for the morning. I will be watching this afternoon. We will be under a big cap, meaning that thunderstorms likely are not going to form. But there is that chance that we could see a couple pop off that break through the cap that we'll have to watch later on, late this afternoon into tonight. But for the most part, I think the severe threat is going to be way up north in northern Missouri, Maryville, Chillicothe, up into northeast Kansas. And I know Jeff Smith, he is a storm chaser. He was a part of our roundtable we had last night talking about the severe threat. There's a possibility we could see him out there in northwest Missouri tonight. And if he does, I will be likely going live on my YouTube channel. And I will be just kind of moderating his chase up there in northwest Missouri, northeast Kansas for our friends up there. But I think west central Missouri, we're going to be sitting pretty good for tonight. But, of course, I'll keep you guys up to date as we go through the day. I've had about 4 more messages sent to me about Easter. We kind of went over that a little bit this morning, again, real briefly. We didn't touch on this last night at the round table because there are a lot of questions that still need to be answered for our severe threat for Sunday. First of all, the biggest change is where this system is going to end up tomorrow night. Right now, it's about 250 miles further south than what it was showing just a couple days ago. What that means for west central Missouri is that on Saturday, after this front moves through tomorrow night, we're going to be on the cold side of this front, meaning that we could be looking at highs only near 50 for Saturday with rain and thunder showers in the area. Man, that's going to be cold, guys, for Saturday. Now, as we go into Sunday, it's going to depend on where this low pressure system that you're looking at right now, where it ends up. If it ends up where it is right now at the Four Corners, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, we're going to be on that cold side again on Sunday.
The National Weather Service in Springfield has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Cedar County in southwestern Missouri, southwestern Benton County, St. Clair County, northeastern Vernon County, until 7:30 a.m.
All right, guys, shut that off there. We don't have to listen to all of it there, but basically it's an extension of this severe thunderstorm warning up here for Bates, southwest Henry County. Now the Springfield office has included St. Clair County and far northeast Vernon County. And then, of course, over here, the very corner of Benton County down here in the southwest side. So pretty much what we've been kind of tracking this hail threat, and it's still going kind of in that same direction we kind of thought it was going to. So, of course, Appleton City, Harwood, Shell City, Rockville, Roscoe, Larry City, Osceola, Vista, Collins, Roscoe. You guys are all under the gun for the potential of seeing some larger hail, maybe to the size of quarters. Looks like this is going to be affecting Highway 13 probably here within the next 13 to 18 minutes. So definitely something, if you guys have to be traveling 13 highway to work in between Brownington and Collins, just know that there's going to be some torrential rains, a lot of lightning, possibility of some hail moving into your direction here pretty quick. So wanted to jump back over here. I'll finish what I was talking about Easter here. So again, if this happens, we're that low on Sunday is down in the Four Corners. We're on the cold side. Highs only into the 50s for Easter with rain and thunder showers. Now, some of the models have recently started pushing this low further north, like what the European is showing. It's up here in northeast Kansas. If that happens, west central Missouri's on the warm side of this front. 70s for Easter with the threat of severe thunderstorms in the afternoon and morning time. So, you know, we're constantly analyzing the data, what's happening. What I'm kind of thinking is going to happen is I'm going back 41 days from the LRC cycle. We had this exact same setup. And when this low pressure system comes across Oklahoma, it did not go up here to northeast Kansas. It stayed down here in Arkansas. So I am kind of leaning toward the GFS solution, saying that the low pressure system is going to stay down here closer to Arkansas, keeping us on the cool side for Easter. and the severe threat outside of maybe a couple of small hail reports, but all the severe weather being down south of us. So we're, hopefully by Friday, we'll have some of these short-term models, high-resolution data moving in. We'll be able to have a better idea where that low is going to be going. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Tricia. So again, if you live in, say, Archie, Garden City, Harrisville, Creighton, Urick, Clinton, Windsor, Sedalia, Warrensburg, you guys are pretty much out of any kind of severe threat for this morning. Just some moderate rainfall, a lot of lightning. The main problem here is going to be with the two hail cores. One is over Amsterdam, entering into Bates County, and another one is going to be down here near Rockville, Shell City, Appleton City. That's moving on off to the southeast. So that has the potential up to quarter-size hail. Let's just go ahead and let's start with this back one here. So we have this other hail core, Merwin, Amsterdam, over to Amoret. We're going to go ahead and we'll see how fast. It's still moving about 45 miles per hour. Let's do a time track on that. So as far as the impact times go, we've got Passaic at 7:01, Butler at 7:03, and mainly rural areas in between that. So Butler 7:03, Passaic 7:01. Here in about another 15 minutes or so, you should see this hail core moving through your area. Let's take a look at this one right here down to the south. Let's go ahead and update. So the southern storm looks like Johnson City 6:56, Roscoe 7:05, Osceola 7:11, Vista at 7:15. And that's going to be for this southern zone right here. Good morning, Monica. Probably woke up to the good old thunderstorm. I'm going to check out my messages here real quick. I've had a lot of them here over the last few minutes. Checking to see if anybody had any questions. Half an inch of rain in Butler. Excellent, Terry. I like to see that, actually. Right now, I don't know if you guys have been following any of my farm forecast or my ag and weather reports through 95.3 KDKD, in which I'm very thankful for them to be able to have the opportunity to be here in the studios with several different platforms to get wording out to everybody, as well as, Clayton Heartfelt Home Care, Max Motors, and of course, Family Safe Storm Shelters. They all sponsor our storm track coverage here at Radford Media Group. So thank you guys so much for giving me that opportunity. But one thing that is nice about this is the fact that we need this rainfall right now. West Central Missouri, none of us really are in any kind of index, any kind of category in that drought index, and that hadn't happened, guys, for months and months. So this additional rainfall is really helping out the farmers, and I really think we're going to continue to see the drought index actually holding out well for us all through the summer. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going to have our dry weeks. We're going to have periods where we might have 2-3 weeks without a drop of rain, but then we're going to get some relief, and that's how it's going to go throughout the summer. So I don't think here in West Central Missouri we're going to have to deal much of the way of a, quote, drought. But areas maybe just to our south and to our west out in Kansas, they're going to be feeling the effects of a drought, unfortunately, I think, as we go into the summer. So let's take a look at these. We'll start with our southern storm first. Johnson City, Lucas Spring, Taborville, Harwood. You guys are getting some very heavy rainfall. Right now, the hail is not all that impressive. Maybe penny size, pea size at certain places, but definitely not seeing those signatures for the hail cores like we were a few minutes ago. And so it's going to be coming across 13 Highway. Actually, it's across 13 Highway just south of Clinton. So if you're heading south of Deepwater, down to Lowry City, Osceola, down to Collins, just be mindful, very heavy rain, maybe some small hail, and a lot of lightning. Now, this hail core here in Bates County is now getting ready to approach Virginia. And this is going to be, looks like, what is that? Brayton Road that runs north and south. Grimsley Road that runs north and south. This is just west of Butler. And, of course, it's going to continue to move toward Butler in the I-49 corridor. So from Passaic down to Butler, all the way down to Rich Hill, you guys are going to be kind of under the gun here the next 10 to 15 minutes. Man, it's getting hot in my office. I've been here with my door shut now for the last few hours, and it's hot. I'm going to turn on a fan. There we go. Get some air moving in here. Of course, I'll be tracking and monitoring all afternoon, guys. We're going to be, I strongly feel we're going to be underneath the cap for all the afternoon into the evening hours. We are under a marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center. They seem to have thinking that there is a potential that we could break a cap and see a few thunderstorms in our area this evening. I'm not too hopeful on that, but I'm going to be monitoring all throughout the afternoon and evening for that. So, I'm not down in the basement. So, we're going to have another extension of this severe thunderstorm warning.
a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles west of Butler, moving southeast.
And again, that's going to be for this hail core that we just looked at moments ago, just west of Butler. And that could be producing up to quarter, maybe, and that's 1 inch hail, maybe an inch and a quarter hail underneath this hail core. Let's put this into 3D mode here. Let's take a look how high the tops are. That gives us a really good indication of how big the hail is. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. You can see it does have some hail returns all the way up to about 26,000 feet. So you notice how it increased right there on that next scan. So when you start getting returns up here in the 25, 26, 27,000 feet above our heads, you know that's got to be a pretty powerful thunderstorm with updraft winds pushing that hailstone all the way up to 26, 27,000 feet. So if you can imagine how much wind it takes of that updraft to support a hailstone size of a quarter, maybe a little bit bigger, up 26,000 feet above our head, that's some pretty impressive winds. Likely updraft speeds of 60, maybe 65 miles an hour at the center of that storm from the ground straight up through the middle of that thunderstorm. So that's something we always touch on during our school seminars. We talk about how hail is formed and how much wind that is needed in an updraft to be able to support a hailstone so high up. And we also talked about the largest hailstone that ever fell in the United States was in 2011 in Vivian, South Dakota, weighing in at 2 pounds, 8 inches in diameter. That's the size of a youth soccer ball. I mean, if you can only imagine. It went through the roof of the house, went through the floor of the house, and made an indentation in the basement floor about that big around. And it takes updraft speeds of 140 to 160 miles per hour from the ground right up through the middle of that storm to support that at 10,000 feet above our heads. That's insane. But we're not dealing with that here, thank goodness. We are dealing with the potential of seeing maybe inch to inch and a quarter size hail. And looks like it's mainly in rural parts of Bates County right now, moving off to the east, southeast. So looked like, from around probably Passaic all the way down to Cornland and Peru. And again, these are going to be small towns in Bates County and be under the gun for that threat for hail. The southern branch still not looking very impressive. That's coming across 13 Highway. It's getting ready to cross into Lowry City, Osceola area, El Dorado Springs, maybe some pea-sized hail, torrential rains, a lot of lightning. Oh, we got somebody from Nyhart. All right. Thank you. So Kelsey is down here at Nyhart, which is just southwest of Butler, and picking up some pea-sized hail, which correlates very, very well with radar right now, where you kind of see the purple. That's the darker purple is about pea-sized hail, and then the center of the hail core now is here, Fort Africa. Now, I don't think I've ever seen that on the map before. Probably some of you locals know where Fort Africa is, but this is along North and South Road, Northwest 5001 Road in Bates County, and that's really where the biggest hail could be falling right now, to the size of quarters. No, Pat, Clinton's in the clear. Just good old-fashioned thunderstorms. Really, if you're north of the polygons, you're in good shape. Deepwater, Clinton, Leesville, Windsor, Sedalia, Warrensburg, Archie, Harrisonville, your severe threat is pretty much done for the day. Hey, Kevin. Yeah. And Kevin is checking in from Brinkley, Arkansas. So good to have you, Kevin. I know you've been on the stream a few times. We appreciate that. Yeah, Kansas City Metro, they're pretty much done for the day. At least they're done through the morning hours of any kind of severe threat or thunderstorm. So, and again, we have about another hour, hour and a half, and most of these storms are going to be moved out of west central Missouri. And we'll have a partly cloudy to partly sunny day today, highs in the 80s. So it's actually going to be a decent day once we get these storms out of our way. Yeah, you're going to get probably a little bit more now, Terry. You got this last line coming through, so you're going to be close to that 1 inch mark by the time this comes through there in Bates County. So kind of what we was expecting, anywhere between ½ inch to an inch throughout west central Missouri with this line of storms. And no, Misty, I'm not down in the basement. I haven't quite got that up and going, although I do have our IT department that was setting me up with a brand new computer yesterday morning. So, excited that I'm going to be able to do some live streaming from a basement of the courthouse. So, looking forward to that as well. So, looks like that hail core is getting ready to come into the western side of Butler right now. Probably some pea-sized hail, maybe a little bit larger. And again, the hail size is fluctuating quite a bit based on radar, but probably a pretty good bet that Butler all the way up to Passaic will likely get at least probably pea-sized hail, and depending on the fluctuations of this hail core, maybe a little bit larger. We'll just have to wait till the next scan. So also maybe some pea-sized hail that's going to be coming across 13 Highway, almost at Osceola. And then the rest of this secondary line is mainly just heavy rain and a lot of lightning right now ongoing from Larry City, Osceola, Roscoe, down to El Dorado Springs. So, do have some cool pictures from a buddy out there near Osawatomie. So let me show you a few of his pictures he has that he sent to me. Now this was back when you guys remember we was watching that real deep hail core that was out there by Osawatomie, Kansas, which is out here in eastern Kansas. And he had sent a few pictures here. Let me bring this up. So about 1.25 to 1.5 inch hailstones that came through. They're just south of Paola on the Kansas side. And let's see, that was round 2 he said that he received. And that was again another round of 1 to 1.5 inch hail there in Osawatomie. So, I mean, these things can do some damage on cars, roofs. Maybe a little bit larger one right there. So definitely appreciate sharing those pictures with us, Jason. And again, that was out here on the Kansas side near Osawatomie. So the most of the hail core now has passed. We're right over 49 highway between Passaic and Rich Hill. And again, looks like that threat is kind of going down just a little bit. Is it me, or does that look like a seahorse? I got my sister is rubbing off on me. She always looks at things in shapes. So we have a seahorse that is just east of 49 highway. It's producing maybe some pea-sized hail, but again, that threat, the returns I'm getting on the radar, they are lessening as that line moves east of 49 highway. We have 23 minutes left for this severe thunderstorm warning for St. Clair County, southwest Benton County, northeast Vernon County. And it's not looking all that impressive right now from a severe standpoint. A lot of rain, thunder showers ongoing right now. Likely, if the trend continues, we're going to be watching this cell back here in Bates County for any maybe intensification, maybe a little bit more hail. But really, I have a feeling both of these warnings will likely be expired, maybe even a little bit early, because I am seeing that threat going downhill pretty quick. You're in it right now, Austin. And again, it's not looking very impressive as far as the severe threat for Osceola. Right now, maybe some pea-sized hail. This is likely not even hitting the ground as hail. Probably just big raindrops, moderate rainfall. Expecting maybe up to an inch of rainfall throughout west central Missouri with these storms. But right now, it's, hail's the biggest threat. And right now, hail threat is definitely going down. So we'll kind of see what the trends go here over the next few minutes. Raining hard in Warsaw. Yep. You guys had a little bit of rain move through your area. You're going to have a little bit more moderate heavy rain moving through here over the next 45 minutes to an hour there at Warsaw. And again, if you guys have not noticed that on KSHB Channel 41 in Kansas City, we got Gary Lezak back for the next few weeks, as one of the meteorologists is actually taking maternity leave, so he's filling in from Golden, Colorado. KSHB took a crew out to his house and turned one of his rooms into a studio. And so he is going to be local Kansas City weather guy for the next few weeks. So that was kind of a refresher. I actually downloaded the KSHB app on my smart TV so that I can catch his forecast in the morning. So I believe he's on every morning from 4 a.m. through 7 a.m. on KSHB. So nice to have him back in the area. Hi, 80. So asking about Saturday. So right now, that was one of the biggest changes we've seen here over the last couple days. Is where the front is going to set up on Saturday, actually Friday night when the front moves through. So it was going to be draped across west central Missouri, where the northern half stays on the cold side, southern half stays on the warm side. Right now, all the models are showing that low pressure system all the way down into Arkansas. So what that means for us is we're going to stay on the cold side on Saturday, meaning high temperatures in the 50s with rain and thunder showers. So it's going to be a very, very chilly day from the looks of it right now. And then, of course, on Easter, we're still kind of waiting to see where this low pressure system is going to set up, how far north that front is going to get to us before we really make a determination on whether or not we're going to be on the warm side with severe threat or on the north side with just a cold, wet day for Easter. Hey, good morning, Angie. So again, still not looking very impressive right now with the hail cores coming across Bates County, heading over towards that southwest Henry and St. Clair County. So again, maybe some pea-sized hail ongoing where you see the purples. Could be some pea-sized hail. I say a lot of that probably not making the ground. It's probably melting before it hits the ground. But nonetheless, we still have 2 ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings, one for Bates County and another one for St. Clair County and northeast Vernon County, southwest Henry County for about the next 15, 17 minutes. But I am happy to see, again, that we're getting some rainfall here in west central Missouri. So really great timing right now. I think a lot of guys, a lot of farmers have hit the fields. They've disked up. I've seen some planting already. So this is great. Get the seed in the ground. Get a nice soaking rain on top of it. And then get the sun coming out this afternoon. So it's great timing for the rainfall, and again, I mentioned this before, we're looking great as far as the drought index here throughout west central Missouri, and I think we're going to kind of continue the pattern all the way through summer for our area. Now just to the west into Kansas, maybe down to the south in southwest Missouri and Oklahoma, they might be dealing more of drought conditions as we head into summer. But we're still going to have our dry stretches where we might go a couple, 3 weeks without seeing any rain, but then we're going to get ample rainfall soon after. So it's going to keep us right where we need to be for the summer. So that's great news, especially if you're a farmer. Farmers, they're needing a good year, and I think we've been kind of projecting kind of a great year on the ag side all the way back since December, that the LRC was kind of pointing at a near average precipitation based on 30-year average throughout west central Missouri for the summer, and we haven't seen one of those type of summers in quite some time here in west central Missouri. So hopefully the farmers can have a bumper crop this year and provide food for our tables. So just southwest of Pleasant Gap here in Bates County, kind of a little bit of an uptick of the hail core. We could be looking at probably up to penny size right now, just southwest of Pleasant Gap. That's going to be right along East-West Road, Southeast 5576 in Bates County. And again, that's south and west of Pleasant Gap. The southern branch, what's going through Osceola, Lowry City, H. Bartle, Collins, El Dorado Springs, Montevallo. And this is just moderate rain. I'm not seeing anything suggesting any hail with any of this southern branch of this cluster of thunderstorms. We're just mainly kind of watching this area right here from Butler to Spruce down to Harwood and over to Rich Hill, kind of in that area. That's kind of the large hail core, so to speak, even though we're not seeing anything too major, maybe up a penny-sized hail right now here just southwest of Pleasant Gap. Let's see here. You got a spoonbill tournament Saturday. Just and again, I'm kind of still going with what the data is suggesting. I think you're going to be very cold Saturday with rain and thunderstorms. I think around 54, maybe 55 degrees and rain. It's going to be kind of miserable out there on Saturday. It's not going to be an all-day rain, but there's going to be a few bouts of rain on Saturday, and of course, we're going to have north winds at 15, 18 miles an hour and 50, 55 degree temperatures for Lake of the Ozarks. Now, that's assuming that low pressure system stays on track and stays well to the south of our area. That's going to keep really this entire area from along I-44 and north in that cold zone all day on Saturday. Oh, yeah, fishermen will go anyway. You better believe it. A bad day of fishing is always better than a day of working, that's for sure. So as this line of storms from about Spruce down to Pleasant Gap, Rockville, Shell City, they will continue to push off to the southeast this direction. So we're going to have Appleton City, Roscoe, El Dorado Springs. You guys are going to be getting into round number 2, well, actually round number 3 of thunderstorms. And again, it's borderline right now. Maybe some penny-sized hail with some of the stronger aspects of this cell, but nothing too impressive. We've got 10 minutes left on St. Clair County severe thunderstorm warning. 24 minutes left of the Bates County warning, but there's a chance they might allow them to expire a little early unless we start seeing a little bit more intensification. Let's go over here. Let's take a look at. Let's look south out of Clinton. with one of our sky cams here. So you're looking at one of our sky cams we have. This one here is over our historic downtown Clinton Square, looking south toward Deepwater, and you can see there's a little bit of cloud-to-cloud lightning right there. And so we are actually looking south toward Deepwater, Lowry City, and we'll kind of keep watch on this as this cell continues to move into St. Clair County. Quite a bit of lightning still associated with most of these cells moving through the area. But again, if you're Harrisonville, Warrensburg, Windsor, Sedalia, really Warsaw, Cocamp, Clinton, really the severe threat is pretty much over for the morning. And we're really just concentrating on this one cluster of thunderstorms over here in Bates and northern Vernon County. That'll be pushing off to the southeast into St. Clair County here over the next few minutes, with the potential of seeing a couple hail reports. Right now, not looking overly impressive. Maybe some penny-sized hail with some of the strongest features of this cluster of thunderstorms, but not very impressive right now, although a severe thunderstorm warning is still in place for St. Clair County and for Bates County and northeast Vernon County. So that severe thunderstorm warning for southwest Henry County is no longer in effect. So Henry County, you are not under any kind of warning right now. So that's good news, and I think we'll continue to see that trend as we head into a little bit later this morning. So hopefully everybody is getting the kiddos to the bus stops and getting them to school. Everybody getting into work this morning. We've been here at, looks like we've been live we're approaching the 2-hour mark this morning. And again, not a big severe threat that we've had today, just mainly a hail threat, but of course been keeping a close eye on all the reports coming in, making sure everybody, especially on mornings during the week when everybody's commuting up to Kansas City, up to Harrisonville to work, Springfield, want to make sure that that they have all the information they need to keep out of any of these hailstorms, to be safe out on the roads, and that's one of the main reasons why I am live this morning. Just an outside shot at seeing a couple of the strongest features of these cells to produce up to quarter-size hail. Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We're yeah, it looks like it is just getting ready to come through Harrisonville, Butler, Passaic, Adrian, Archie. You guys are on the very tail end of this thing, and like Trevor said, you're going to look off to the west and see some clearing, and of course the severe threat, chances of rain, done for the morning, and we're going to start to heat up, and the wind's going to kind of pick up out of the south, maybe some gusts up to 25 miles per hour today, and highs in the lower 80s. So it's going to be quite warm as we head into the afternoon. And of course, I'll be keeping a very close eye on that cap, because if that cap should happen to break, we could get a few more hailers this afternoon. If that cap breaks, I'm not expecting it to, but we do have that outside shot. And the Storm Prediction Center also is thinking that there is a possibility the cap may break this afternoon for us here in West Central Missouri. So we are under that marginal risk to see a severe storm later on, late this afternoon into the evening hours. Quarter inch of rain up by the hospital. Excellent, excellent. Maybe be able to get up to about a half inch by the time we get the rest of these thunderstorms through Henry County, hopefully. Still a few reports of some quarter-size hail coming in from Bates County as well as near Lacine, Pleasanton. Quarter-inch hail reports coming into the National Weather Service, but really not very many.
Thunderstorm warning for southwestern Hickory County, Cedar County in southwestern Missouri, northwestern Polk County in southwestern Missouri, southern St. Clair County, eastern Vernon County, until 8:15 a.m. At 7:27 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near El Dorado Springs, moving southeast at 55.
All right, so that was an extension of this severe thunderstorm warning that is ongoing for St. Clair County. They have extended it to southern St. Clair County and parts of up here in northeast Vernon County. So that's for this cluster right here, guys. So Rockville, Shell City, Harwood, El Dorado Springs. This has been fluctuating in intensity as far as the hail core. Right now, it's not very impressive. Maybe penny-sized hail, but it could. We're seeing it kind of fluctuate in intensity from time to time. So they decided to go ahead and put a severe thunderstorm warning on this. It's going to be affecting Roscoe, Vista, Collins, Humansville, El Dorado Springs here over the next 20-30 minutes. We'll see if it intensifies any here over the next 30 minutes or so. Those of you in Bates County, you guys are just about out of. You're starting to notice the clearing off to your west, and you guys are on the tail end of this here. So I'm not seeing anything that suggests anything severe left in Bates County right now. So you guys are going to be in pretty good shape. Same way with Henry County. This is primarily now parts of this storm's going to be the problem child of northeast Vernon County and St. Clair County. So we'll watch this for a few minutes to see how this reacts. And again, that's really the only thing we're concerned about is seeing some quarter-size hail out of this storm. I'm just about out of coffee. I'm going to have to get some coffee brewing. So what you're seeing here on the bottom right-hand side is from one of our sky cams. This is over downtown Clinton Square, looking off to the south toward Deepwater, Larry City area. We can see lightning, cloud-to-cloud lightning from time to time. Last spring, I was watching this same camera off of downtown, looking off to the south, and seeing a lightning bolt come down and strike Farmer's Elevator. And I was able to slow it up a little bit. Right there is Farmer's Elevator. Kind of zoom in just a little bit. Seeing that lightning strike come straight down and hit the top of the grain bins right here. We slowed it up, and it was actually a spectacular little photo that we took. That was last May, I believe. Having the sky cams really be able to help out, especially when we have some really severe weather moving in, whether it's daytime or nighttime. It really kind of helps to have these cameras up, kind of see what it looks like from just outside of the county, because you can see forever with these cameras. So this is what they call vertically integrated liquid radar. And what this does, this sends a beam out and it picks up on the size of the raindrops. Okay, it can actually send back pings from the radar, from those rays that go out. It will tell us the size of the raindrop. Now, most raindrops are going to be relatively uniform in size. And then once you get up to the bigger the bigger raindrops, then it becomes the darker colors, with gray being very large, and that you can pretty much assume to be hail. And you can find exactly where those little hail cores are. And this right here is not very impressive. I don't think we have any hail falling right now in Vernon or St. Clair County. There's outside shot that just east of Harwood, we could have some maybe some pea-sized hail ongoing there, but right now it's not looking very impressive at all. Kind of a little bit surprised they issued that severe thunderstorm warning, but again, I think they did that because of the way the storm has been fluctuating in intensity a little bit. So we are starting to get a little bit heavier rain coming into Henry County, as you can see there on the sky cam. Coming into Clinton, we got pretty good rain moving back into our area, and we have probably about another 30 minutes or so here in Henry County before we start seeing some clearing on the west hand side as these storms continue to move off to the east and out of our area this morning. So, looks like the strongest part of this cell is going through Tiffin, Danya, Portia, El Dorado Springs, and going to be heading over toward Montagaw Springs, Osage Heights, Roscoe, Crook Springs, Lebec, Cedar Springs, and Coal Hill here over just the next few minutes. And again, not seeing anything substantial as far as any hail returns. Maybe some pea-sized hail right now at the most. like Harrisonville, Creighton, Garden City, Urick, Montrose, Spruce, Clinton, we're all still getting some rain showers, maybe a clap of thunder or two. Still have another 38 minutes left for severe thunderstorm warning for southern St. Clair and eastern Vernon County. Just for the potential of an outside shot to see a hailstone up to quarter size, and that's 1-inch hail is possible. Looks like it is between Roscoe and El Dorado Springs right now. Right now, not very impressive, but nonetheless, very heavy rains and possibility of some small hail right now between Roscoe and El Dorado. So let's take a little look. We have a minute now. Just kind of curious. I'm going to go to the short-term model. It just finished up loading. Let's put this local. Just kind of want to see what the latest short-term models is showing for this afternoon. So there's our ongoing complex of thunderstorms right now that the model is showing. And of course it will finally eventually move out. And let's take a look what happens as we go into the afternoon, see if anything picks up. Which right now it is showing, the short-term models is not showing that cap breaking at all with the short-term models. So that's good news. We might have, this might be it for the day. I'm going to expand this out just a little bit, go regional. So at least through about midnight, looks like the only thunderstorms is going to be up here in that slight risk area, which is eastern Nebraska into Iowa. But the short-term ARRR is not showing any future development as we go into the afternoon. Let's go with the NAM. See what time that came out. That came out at 6 o'clock this morning. So let's see what the NAM shows as we go into this afternoon. Yeah, it's not showing. It tries, as you can see right here, is showing that thunderstorms tried to form, but the cap is just way too strong, and they just kind of fall apart. we go into, that's Friday, and that's gonna be a time we're gonna have to pay attention, because if that front is, looks like right now it's draped kind of over west central Missouri, and if we're along that front or ahead of it, we could see some stronger thunderstorms on Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So definitely worth keeping an eye on as we head into Friday. But right now, the short-term model is showing that this should be it for the day for west central Missouri. So that's great news. So it looked like that hail core continues to shrink in just a little bit. Do have a little signature up near Appleton City. You guys might be getting just maybe some pea-sized hail went through Appleton City possibly. But looked like just east of El Dorado Springs near Coal Hill. This is looked like that is where the strongest hail return on radar is showing up at. We could be seeing some pea up to penny-sized hail down here near Coal Hill, which is just east of El Dorado Springs. So you definitely see where that clear line is, slowly making its way across west central Missouri. So yeah, hopefully this is going to be it for the day. Some of you get caught up on some sleep this afternoon. Take a look at hopefully everybody's getting making the best out of this morning with all the rain and thunderstorms in the area. Heading to work, getting the kids to school. I know that's no fun trying to keep everything dry, keep the kids dry, trying to get them into work, get them into school, or work, I guess. So, again, probably about another 30, 45 minutes, and we'll have this out of our neck of the woods. Looks like they did update the severe thunderstorm warning. Still had another 30 minutes left on it, but they pretty much cut off the northern half of it. So Osceola, Lowry City, Deepwater, Montrose, Appleton City, you guys are now out of that polygon. This is primarily just going to be for just east of El Dorado Springs over towards Collins, Wablo. And I have a feeling as this cell continues to move off to the southeast, they'll start chipping away at that severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like the strongest part of this storm now is just south of Hackelman's Corner. And this is actually, this is going to be down that Polk County, Hickory County. just kind of southeast of El Dorado Springs. A lot of lightning associated too. El Dorado Springs is getting pounded by some lightning. Several cloud to ground lightning strikes here within the last 5 minutes. Probably still kind of loud too, out just east of Appleton City in St. Clair County. Could maybe have some pea-sized hail, but mainly just some torrential rains right now on the east side of Appleton City. And of course, all this is going to be moving toward the 13 highway corridor between Larry City and Osceola and Vista. Big shout out to our sponsors of our Storm Track weather coverage. Family Safe Certified Storm Shelters are down in Republic. Great group. Actually, they're working me up a quote right now down in Republic. So appreciate all their hard work down there. And, of course, we've got Max Motors right here in several towns in west central Missouri. Max Motors is that. We appreciate their support. And, of course, Clayton's Heartfelt Home Care. We appreciate you guys supporting Storm Track weather coverage here at Baumgard's Weather Center. See what St. Louis has to say about check in with Springfield National Weather Service. And of course, we have our ticker right down here at the bottom of the screen. This is something that we started doing this storm season, which is fantastic. It will keep you up to date on any watches, warnings, advisories here in west central Missouri. It's updated fairly quickly as well. So, if I have to take a break or something to that effect, have to step away, always have the latest warnings, watches, advisories coming across your screen. So that's a great addition to our live stream here. See what our rainfall is here in Clinton. So it looked like here at the weather station, we've had 0.58 rainfall so far here at KDKD Studios. So nice soaking half-inch rain, so that's fantastic. Great for the gardens. So it does look like the threat is just about out of St. Clair County. It is really down here, well southeast of El Dorado Springs. Down, get ready to come into Kaplinger Mills, which is always... I had a short stint in Nevada for about 4 years, and we would always go to Kaplinger Mills to do some fishing along the river, which is just a beautiful area down in that neck of the woods. So They have a neat little dam. We would fish off the bridge. We would wade out in front of the dam, catch tons of crappie down there at Kaplinger Mills. Good times. So what we will likely be doing, guys, as soon as we get the all clear from the National Weather Service of this what's left over here in southern St. Clair County, that will probably be the end of our live stream. And as we just looked a little bit ago, right now short-term models are not showing the cap breaking for this afternoon into this evening. So that's great news. So, but I'll be continually to monitor throughout the afternoon for that potential that we are in that marginal risk, according to the Storm Prediction Center, for the threat of severe thunderstorms. But I think majority of that came from this morning, and I really don't expect much going on this afternoon into the evening. But of course, I'll be updating as we go, and make sure to tune in to 95.3 or 104.9 here in West Central Missouri, as I have forecasts that I'll be going on air with as we go throughout the day. And if you haven't, you ought to check out our 404 farm forecast. So every day, Monday through Friday at 404, I have a forecast really kind of geared up for the farmers, for the ag side of things. We talk about soil moisture content. We talk about soil temperatures. We talk about the forecasts, of course. And sometimes we get into more long-range forecasting as well. So you can check that out, kind of an extended SkyTrack weather forecast. And that is every day, Monday through Friday at 404. We appreciate Trinary Implement, too, for sponsoring that each and every day, too. Trinary Implement, they're out there in Cole, just east of Clinton. They're on Highway 7. So, it surprised me how many times people say, well, there's not a Massey Ferguson dealer within 50 miles of us. I said, well, there's one right outside of Clinton. And they're just like, what? And they're a little bit off the beaten path, but they're right on 7 Highway. So if anybody has any need, definitely give Jack a call out there at Trinary Implement, and they'll get you fixed up. And it's that time of year, guys. Everybody's out planting. They're working ground. And hopefully it was shaping up to be a great year in the ag industry. Outside of the tariffs. You bet, Robin. Oh, yeah, mushrooms. Those of you that are still picking mushrooms up, this rainfall is really going to help, especially once we get up to 84 degrees this afternoon. Holy cow, you might be able to watch them come out of the ground this afternoon. Subby's Weather Talk is accepting bags of morel mushrooms. So just thought I'd throw that out there. I am accepting them. If anybody wants to give me some morel mushrooms. Hi, Mark. Mark joining us from, looks like Hartford, Kansas. And let's take a look over by Topeka. There it is. Let's see where Hartford, Kansas is at. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere out there, Mark. So Topeka's up here, and of course you got Wichita and you got Pleasant Hill. So you're kind of in that middle of all the forecast agencies, kind of like what we are down here in West Central Missouri. One of the big reasons why we do what we do, because some of our counties on the far southern scope of National Weather Service out of Pleasant Hill, and some of our counties are on the far northern edge of Springfield National Weather Service. So a lot of times our counties kind of get overlooked It's not the National Weather Service fault. I mean, they just don't have enough eyes with all the cutbacks they've done over the last 2 years. You know, they're taking care of anywhere between 35 to 45 counties each office. And when you only have 3-4 sets of eyes on those 40 counties, sometimes things can get missed unintentionally. So that's where we kind of fill in the gaps here at Subby's Weather Talk. But appreciate you being on here, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh, don't tell me that, Mark. That's almost worth the trip out there to Hartford, Kansas to get me a bag of morel mushrooms. So, Mark, if you ever jump on here, um, during my live streams when we got severe weather going on, make sure you let me know you're on. I'll be more than happy to take a look at Hartford and the surrounding areas, and I do that with a lot of people. We have members here from Springfield all the way up to Maryville, and even Illinois. We have 2 or 3 from Illinois that will come here because they know they can ask the question. I'll be more than happy to take a look at what's going on in your neck of the woods as well. So just let me know you're on, and we'll take a look at what's going on around your area. Don't mind doing that a bit. Hey, Andrea. She loves the prospect of storms and mushrooms. Man, don't we all? Don't we all? Man, there's been, I don't know if you could really input weather conditions into a computer for morel mushrooms and be able to come up with a better forecast than what we've had here over the last couple weeks. Because, when you have temperatures in the middle 80s, and then you cool down, then you get some rain, then you heat back up to 80 degrees. I mean, mushrooms are loving this right now. So I've seen a lot of big holes on morel mushrooms in and around west central Missouri. That's for sure. All right, so we still have another 15 minutes left for this severe thunderstorm warning for southern St. Clair County. Nothing impressive is going through that area right now. Doesn't look like anything but heavy rain, maybe some pea-sized hail coming into Collins, Wablo, Humansville, Stockton Lake, but a lot of lightning, but nothing too severe, guys. This is just a very strong thunderstorm that's moving through that area right now. Good morning, Joyce. So it looks like all of Bates County now, they're actually starting to see the clearing line out there. Let's take a look at satellite imagery here real quick. So we're taking a look at satellite right now, and you can definitely see that clearing line right here. Let's kind of put this into time frame. You can see those thunderstorms kind of blossom up. You see some of those higher tops. They're kind of into shadows right here. Those are probably those cells that were, that are producing any of that hail. Those clouds are probably 45,000 feet above our heads, and it's pushing some of these hailstones up 20,000 feet above our heads. So, but yeah, I definitely see where that clearing line is. It's approaching west central Missouri very quickly. Oh, wow, Mark. So Mark had mentioned a few weeks ago, big storms rolled through around 3:30 a.m. and you were on, and gave me the information about our storm. Only placed live that morning. You were on till after 5 or 6 a.m. that morning. Yeah, that was probably definitely Wednesday morning early. And I was pretty much on there from about 2 o'clock all the way through about 8 o'clock that morning. We had 2 tornado warnings roll through west central Missouri that morning around 7:30, including my home county of Henry. So we did get actually Team Havoc, Andrew. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the live stream. He actually captured the photo along 18 Highway, just a few miles east of Ballard, of that tornado that sparked that tornado warning. So, yeah, that was a long morning, Mark. That was a very long morning, but I appreciate the kind words. And again, if you ever need anything at all, my man, just feel free. Let me know you're out there, and I'll be more than happy to keep you updated. Let's see, I got a couple pictures here. See what we've got here. So I've got a picture of a rain. I got 2 pictures of rain gauges. One in Appleton City looked like .30 into rain gauge, and another one a mile north of Montrose where they picked up a ½ inch of rainfall. So good rains around the area. That's fantastic. Appleton City, I figured you guys got a little bit more than that. If anybody picked up any more than, picked up a ½ inch or better in Appleton City, let me know. I send all these after I get done with my live. I do up a report, send to the National Weather Service, let them know about the rainfall estimations, any pictures I receive of hail, that sort of thing. So anyway, if anybody has any reports, make sure you get them sent over to me. I'd appreciate it. Starting to lighten up quite a bit here in Clinton. We see the sky cam off of Clinton Square. Notice it's starting to lighten up pretty good out there. Of course, we're getting a little bit higher sun angle from coming up on the east side, and looks like maybe still raining out there just a little bit here in Clinton. You kind of see a raindrop every now and then, but definitely starting to lighten up. We'll continue to see that clearing line push on off to the east here over the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. So it looks like the strongest part of this southern storm is down just east of Stockton. This is going to be southwest of Humansville. Looks like we might even have a little hail core over near Halfway, which is just halfway between Bolivar and Buffalo. I wonder if they named that Halfway because of that. Halfway between Bolivar and Buffalo is Halfway. I don't know. Hi, Susan. Hey, Susan. Since you're on here, I've texted you a couple times. You know, I've got a gift card for you in an envelope. All I need is an address. If you think about it sometime, shoot me your address on Facebook and Messenger, and I'll get that out to you. It has the stamp on it, ready to head out. I just need an address. That was from our fundraiser back in February. Hey, Jeff, you say 0.04-inch rain in Garden City total? Because I just got a picture of a rain gauge from in between Creighton and Garden City with 0.6. That's crazy. Ah, there we go. 0.4. That's better. That's better. I was going to say, man, you must be living underneath the umbrella. So a little bit of uptick in the hail signature here coming into Roscoe in St. Clair County. So looked like we could see possibly penny-sized hail out of this, if not maybe a little bit larger. And that's in Roscoe in St. Clair County. Coming in there. You are not, where that cell is right now is not actually included into a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is heading into the severe thunderstorm warning polygon here momentarily. But and for the rest of us, really from Lowry City, Clinton, Cole Camp, Warsaw, up to Pettis County, Sedalia, Warrensburg, Harrisonville, Butler, Rich Hill, Nevada. You know, our severe threat is now gone for the morning. Looks like we're going to stay that way for the remainder of the day with our look at the short-term models here just moments ago. So looks like that cap is going to hold steady for the afternoon and evening. So again, we're expecting highs in the 80s today. So it's flip-flop weather, guys. It's flip-flop weather. So yeah, I want to see everybody with pictures heading out mushroom hunting late this afternoon in flip-flops. That's what I want you guys to send out pictures of. Oh, great, Susan. Thank you very much. See if I have this. Oh, yeah, I got it. I just want to make sure I have it here, Susan. I'm a little bit aggravated this morning with the fact that I was trying to use something for emergency management, where some kind of package where I could actually turn a PDF into something that I could actually fill out. And so I tried a couple different programs, and one of them, I guess, automatically entered me into a 7-day trial period. And I just looked on my phone just now, and they charged me, since I didn't cancel my subscription, my free trial, that they charged me $96 for a year's worth of this program. Oh man, I'm gonna have a phone call this afternoon trying to get my money back. I hate when they do that. When you're searching for something over the internet and trying to find a program, it says it's free. You know, you kind of look at it. I'm really careful, make sure I'm not signing up for anything. And then it says, hey, all you got to do is just put your email out there and you can try it for free. Well, it signed me up. Oh. Anyway, $96. Something I'll use once a year, maybe. Okay, guys, so what they have done, they went ahead and allowed that severe thunderstorm warning to expire for St. Clair County. So right now, kind of zooming out just a little bit, we still have some showers and thunderstorms in southern Johnson, Henry, Benton, Pettis, really throughout west central Missouri. And that will likely continue for about the next 45 minutes to an hour. And then finally it will all move off out to the east. And we'll be left with really a really nice day outside of breezy conditions, up to 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We will reach up into the 80s this afternoon. And from the latest looking at the models and data, it does look like we're going to be under that cap for the rest of the day. So I'm not expecting any more thunderstorms this afternoon or this evening. We will reevaluate all the data tonight for that possibility of seeing a few severe thunderstorms tomorrow. And again, Saturday is looking right now very chilly, high of 50 throughout west central Missouri with rain and thunderstorms. And the jury is still out for Sunday, as the information and the models are split right down the middle where that low pressure system is going to go. Are we going to be on the cold side or the warm side of that low pressure system? And that's going to make all the difference in the world, from being in the 50s and rain to in the 70s and severe thunderstorms. So I'll try to narrow that down a little bit better as we go here over the next 24 to 48 hours to keep you guys updated on that. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call that a stream. Thank you guys so much for all the interaction, all the reports. I'm going to go back through chat, write down all your reports, get them sent off to the National Weather Service. And again, this is what helps them get warnings and advisories out to people out ahead of these storms. So definitely worth sending in your reports to me. I make sure all those get sent off to where they need to go. So everybody enjoy the rest of the day. And again, don't forget to send me those pictures of chasing mushrooms in flip-flops. Take care, everybody. Stay weather aware. We'll be talking to you soon.